This is what I'm talking about. Y'all literally keep asking me, where? I'm like, it's the white guy that's in front of you at the grocery store. It's the Asian guy that's in line next to you at Starbucks. The guy that keeps looking at you from across the bar and you can't seem to figure out why. He's checking you out. Smile back at him. Give yourself a minute. Open your eyes. Look around you, because the non-black men who would be interested in you are literally all around you. They're the ones that are checking you out that you're not even noticing because you're thinking they're not actually looking at you. But I am telling you, sis, they are.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. So we have some video clips of some people who are sharing their experiences and tips of dating white men if you are someone who is interested in interracial dating. So if you're a woman of color dating or thinking of dating a white man, then this video is for you. However, it's not about how to keep a white man, but it's about something more important. How to attract, build a healthy, respectful, successful relationship without losing yourself. So we are going to watch these clips together, and without wasting much time, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get started. I'll catch up with you after these clips are played.
So let me tell you something. If you're watching me now on your FYP, it means your life is about to change for good. Okay, this one tip I want to tell you, especially if you're an African woman dating white men. I know you are 35 years, you're 40 years, and you know in Africa, when you are 40 years, men don't tend to hit on you, okay? They think like you are old. Okay, let me tell you something. Go to dating app, look for men abroad, okay? White men don't care about your age. Even if you are 50 years and having kids, they're going to marry you. These people don't judge. They don't care about the age. So, do what I've just told you now. Don't lose hope. You don't have to die single because you're 35 or 40. Go to the dating app now. Thank me later. Bye.
The white guy I used to work with used to tell me this. He used to say they wanted to holler, but were scared they would get shut down. See, ladies, the white Wonder Bread, they do want a little Nutella, but then they look and they say, wait, no, that's Tyrone's. That's Tyrone's. I'll let Tyrone. Let me leave that alone. Then he thinks about it for a second. He's like, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Tyrone does be pulling Becky. The hell? I feel confused. Yeah, I would like some of that spread. I would like some of that Nutella. I am a little... I did have a little toast on me. Maybe she would like some of this. Then he looks and he don't do nothing. But inside he said, well, hold on, Becky be going with Tyrone. What the hell's wrong with this then? Why can't I go out of this? And he's thinking, I do, but maybe she's waiting for the Tyrone to pass. And then he don't do nothing because, ladies, so, it's okay. Give him a little sign. Give him a little, I'm interested in you approach. I want a little white bread in my life. I want a little Wonder Bread. Plain Jane, no season. I want some of that. He needs a little season of Nutella. Tyrone's getting it. Becky getting it. Why can't he?
Ladies, this one is for you. So we have thousands of you in our inbox and you're all looking for white men. Well, I'm going to tell you, don't date a white man just for status. A white man is not going to change your life. We are just the same as a black guy. A white man can be broke. A white guy can cheat. A white man can have a wife and pretend he is not married so he can have another girlfriend. So we are exactly the same as the black race. So please do not come in my inbox saying you just want a white guy because you think your life will change just by dating this white guy. It won't. A lot of white guys are broke. A lot of white guys are cheaters. So this is what I've come on here to say today to you ladies especially, because a lot of you are in our inbox and your life will not change just by dating a white guy. So thank you. Take care.
As a Latina, I'm here to tell you, date the white man. Date the white man. Give him a chance. Date the white man. Look, I've dated many men. I've dated Latinos. I've dated all kinds of men. For me, as a Latina, Mexican, Nicaragüense, I didn't want a Latino. There was just something about it. I love my culture. But there's just something about the white man, but it has to be a white man that's close to the countryside, okay? Then you'll have a soft life. Then he will respect you. He will treat you like a queen. He will be that masculine provider that you need. I'm not telling you to date the city white man. I'm telling you to date the country white man, okay? Me, born from the Bay Area, especially the Bay Area white boys, Bay Area Latinos, not for me. Get out of your comfort zone. Go towards the hills, the countryside, the wine side. Date the white man who has a little country in him. You're welcome. You're going to have a soft life. He's going to provide. He's going to be a great father. It's fun. They're going to love you because they love our spice. They love Latinas. Trust me when I say this. Date the white man. Date the white man.
I'm going to talk about the top 5 white guys that are checking for you black.
This is my area of expertise. Listen to me. As you might be able to tell, I am mixed. My dad is white. My mom is black. I also grew up in an all-white neighborhood, so I know what I'm talking about. He left off one very key type of white guy on this list I'll get to at the end, but I read the comments and there were so many women that were saying, oh, well, white men don't approach us. White men don't approach us. Or I see them looking, but they never say anything to me. Like lots and lots of variations of that statement in the comments. You guys are right. White men are much different from black men in their approach. If you are interested in a white guy, you are probably going to have to approach him. Unless he's younger for some reason, like the younger generation, 25, 26, 23 even, they will shoot their shot. But if you're looking for somebody a little older, they're not going to shoot their shot. You have to shoot yours. I used to think that this was because they just weren't interested in me. They just didn't like me. They were attracted to white girls, whatever. Back in high school, the only guys that wanted to date me were the 3 black guys in the school. When it came time for school dances, I was always the girl that never had a date. I was the one that was like, hey, we should just all go together, girls, as a girl group. Because I didn't want to deal with the stress of trying to find a date last minute like I always had to. And I knew I was cute, so I was like, I don't know what the issue is, but like these guys just don't like me. Y'all, then I graduated and I get to college and suddenly like Instagram or Facebook was a thing back then. And I would get all these messages from guys that I went to high school with, white guys that I went to high school with that were like, oh, I always had such a crush on you. I always thought you were so pretty. And I'm sitting here like, why is my inbox being flooded? Why is my inbox being flooded when I never had a date to the dance? Like, what were y'all doing? Why did y'all never ask me? Oh, I just assumed you only liked black guys, so I just didn't even want to try. Which is insane because I was 16 and wasn't around any black guys. So I'm a 16-year-old girl in high school with almost all white guys. I don't know any black guys other than the 3 that go to school with me. So they're just assuming I don't like them and I want a black guy. Okay, so if they're assuming this in high school, they're definitely assuming this about you up here in the real world. Them not approaching has no bearing on whether or not they are attracted to you or would be open to dating you. Okay, a black man, he's gonna shoot a shot. He's gonna see you out. He's gonna assume you like black men. There's way less fear there. He's probably gonna shoot a shot. White guys, I have been stared at, I have been smiled at, I have been looked at. They be breaking their necks sometimes trying to look and they never approach unless they're 24 for some reason. The young ones they have the audacity. They are nervous, y'all. They are scared. I know you are nervous and you are scared as well, but you have to be the one to approach. You have to give them the green light and let them know you are interested in them, you are attracted to them. Unfortunately, a lot of them are still a little dense and a little slower, so you can't just take like my normal approach, which is just creating an opportunity for them to speak to you. With black men that I want to approach, a lot of times I will just give them an opening, meaning like I'll sit next to them at the bar and be like, oh, what are you drinking? And then carry on with my conversation or with my night. If they engage, okay, cool, they're interested. If not, they're not. You have to be like a little bit more direct with them, which is also annoying because a lot of times like they're just very friendly and like they might also just think that you're being very friendly. So after you create your opening, whatever that might be, you have to get a little bit flirty. We got to step into the danger zone a little bit. You got to put yourself out there just a little bit. You have to give them a clear verbal or physical indication that you are interested. Then if they pick up on it and they're interested, great. If not, then okay, you can make your exit. And while I know this sounds scary, it is actually very low risk. The chance of a man rejecting you is like almost 0 because at bare minimum, he at least thinks, oh, this girl wants to hook up or maybe I can get an easy hookup out of this. So very low percentage chance that your feelings are going to be hurt. I can already hear a lot of y'all like, oh, I don't want to approach. I want a man that's aggressive. I want a man. So do I. Just because they don't approach you doesn't mean they're not an assertive guy. It also doesn't mean they're not a confident guy. Honestly, if he's scared to approach, that's a good thing because then you know he's not out at the bar every weekend hitting on other women. My new favorite types of guys are the ones that don't approach. So practice getting comfortable putting yourself out of your comfort zone and giving them a clear indication that you're interested. And I guarantee you will see results. Now back to this list. He left off a very, very crucial type of guy. Country men. Country bumpkin men. If you get you a white guy from the mountains, from the middle of nowhere, he likes black women. I guarantee it. Every white guy that has liked me, that I have gone on a few dates with, entertained in any capacity, has been a very country man. Like from a small town, knows how to build a house type of guy. My dad is also one of those guys. In all of my years of life, I've literally only heard him mention one white woman that he thought was attractive, and that was Charlize Theron. Every other celebrity crush is not white. This also goes for all the country men that I've dated. Every girl they've ever talked about has not been white. So yeah, if he like wears flannels or like rides horses and goes rock climbing every weekend, like on real rocks, not inside, he enjoys camping, like very, very, very white activities, to the point where you're like, oh, he's probably a conservative racist, you're probably wrong, and he probably likes black women.
Hello, my African friends. Hello, African ladies. My experience from this week. If you want a good white man, a serious good white man, give him every day in the morning a beautiful smile in video call. Give him many attention. A white man like that. Many attention is good for trust, and trust is good for a beautiful love. Give him every day nice conversation. Don't give him all the time excuses. Sorry network, sorry busy. Sorry I forget my phone. Sorry, I charge my phone, sorry this, you know, this is too much sorry and too much excuses. A white man like straight on. A white man like she know what she want. Look, if you want a good white man, you won't follow him. Show him this so much every day. The great words, I love you, is nice, but not to begin, not in the first day. This is a long process. Love is a long process. But give him not in the first day, after the first conversation, in video call or a message, the words I love you. Give a white man more conversations in video call, not message all the time. Message is too much misunderstanding, and you won't see your white man, right? And not message. Message cannot smile, cannot laugh. And a conversation with a white man, no filter. The most in TikTok is filter. For me, it was a great shock. All the time, a lady, wow, reality, shock. Not nice, you know? No filter, real is the best. Later, you won't live with him together. And no filter, you know. I hope you understand what I mean. And the best is every day a beautiful smile and a nice conversation in love. Look, my parents, you know, my parents, I was together with my parents after a long time in vacation. So many compliments from many followers. Thank you so much. You know why my parents so long together? My mom gives my dad every day attention and a beautiful smile. Or maybe a little kiss. This is successful and this is nice and sweet. And my dad liked that. And he give many back. I am the result from my parents. And I want the same. Smile every day. Problems? Okay, no problem. We give strong together our best. But look not mad all the time in the morning or midday, afternoon, evening to a white man. This make tired. This bring me down, you know. I hope you understand my not so perfect English, right? Thank you. Don't give up. Don't give up.
I'm going to be making a few changes to my appearance to attract more of the type of men I like. But not too much on me now, okay? Because me changing my hair and my nails is not me changing who I am as a person, okay? But if your type is older white men, which is what I naturally attract for some reason, I can help you out. So here are my tips on how to bag an older white man. Number one, when people say to go to high-end restaurants, high-end steakhouses, high-end hotels, bars, all of that kind of stuff, that really works. And go by yourself. Do not bring no emotional support girlfriend with you, because you're a lot more approachable when you're by yourself. And the reason that this works, I was going because during the week, if I don't like to cook, I like a high-end happy hour. Why not? I'm single. So I'll go out and, you know, they're always there. You have to say to yourself, a single older white man, he probably doesn't really cook like that. So he can afford to have a $150 dinner on a Tuesday night. And he can afford to pay your bill too. Most of the time, I never pay. I never go in with any expectation of that. But 9 times out of 10, if I'm sitting there by myself, there's always some man in a suit wearing a Rolex that's looking at you at the corner of your eye and is just waiting for you to look back at him, or he'll send a drink over and they'll start a discussion with you. That's how it always goes. I never pay for nothing. Number 2, if you are a black woman, do not think that you need to be light-skinned or you have to wear your hair a certain way to attract these type of men. A white man that really likes black women likes them unambiguously black, in my opinion. I pull more of these older white men when I have my hair like this or when I have my hair in a fro. The real winner, though, is when I have my natural hair straightened. Black men like that too, but I'm just saying they like that. They like a polished look. And a reason why I feel like they can do the unambiguous black thing is, one, that may have been what they always wanted, but because of like societal pressures or feeling like, you know, somebody had to fit into their social group, etc., they may have went with what was expected. But when they get down to that second, third divorce, or when they get a little bit older, when they don't have anything to approve, they go after what they really want. Okay. And then also, we live in a patriarchal society that's designed for them anyway. So an older white man is like up here in the patriarchy. They don't have nothing to prove to nobody. So if they're going after you and you know for sure you're not being fetishized, they're into it. But like I said, they like a polished look, a little bit more modest dressing, clean makeup. I would say that's just what I got from it, because most of the time when I'm going to these happy hours and stuff, I'm dressed in like work clothes. And I've had on a more than one occasion a man tell me that they wanted to talk to me because I looked put together. And number 3, this one I got from my mom. She always used to do this. This has nothing to do with attracting men. It's just a byproduct. But your groceries are going to be pretty much the same price no matter what store you go to, especially if it's a chain. So why not do your grocery shopping on a nicer side of town? Why not have your bank be on a nice side of town? Why not run your errands on a nicer side of town? Make sure you do this run all your errands. If you have a flexible job, do it during like the middle of the day. Men that have money, men that are older, men that are a little, you know, retired and all that kind of stuff, they're free. Their schedule is pretty clear. It's flexible. They can run their errands in the middle of the day. The amount of men that I've run into at the grocery store, like when I even used to live in Austin, running into men at Central Market in the middle of the day, complimenting me on my outfit or my hair, whatever, they're there. They're there. So you going grocery shopping kind of early in the morning, or like maybe at like 11 or 12, they're there. Trust me. Number 4, and I have actually a few more tips. I just don't have time to share it, but you got to figure out what your allure is as a woman. I have the gift of gab. I can talk a man out of his drawers. That's just a God-given gift I have. So figure out what your allure is, because in my opinion, these men like a smart woman. I've been able to have some of the best conversations ever with some of these older white men, because I'm able to talk about things that I've always been interested in, but nobody in my social group really is into. Like, for instance, I've always liked exotic cars. I like watches. I love cigars. I love art, history, culture, all of that kind of stuff. But I just never really have a lot of people to talk to about these things. So when I get in conversations with these men, I notice a lot of them have similar interests, and I'm able to just talk to them for hours about, you know, certain topics. These older men, in my opinion, like smart women. I've never been told that like I was overbearing or I was too spicy or whatever. Like, I just really enjoy the conversation. I hope I can squeeze this one in. But number 5 is act like you've been there before. Sometimes, especially maybe somebody like me, I've been exposed to a lot at a young age. I grew up kind of middle class after when I moved in with my aunt. But act like you've been there before. Remember I was telling you guys a few weeks ago where I went out with those older white men and they bought that $500 bottle of wine? And I'm thinking to myself, like, why would y'all do that? It's a fucking Tuesday. Like, but I had to just say, you know what? If it's fine for them to drink a $500 bottle of wine on a Tuesday, it's fine for me. When the bottle of wine came, I just put out my glass. You know, we toasted. I looked them in their eyes and continued the conversation. So just act like you've been there before. Don't idolize things. Don't make a big deal. Don't be so easily impressed. Just understand that people are living, you know, different lives, and just go with it. Number 6. So a lot of you guys know that I'm divorced. I used to go to a divorce support group at a very like affluent church. And I mean, there was millionaires there. I think Matthew McConaughey was a member of that church. Like, it was a big, super mega church. And a mega church always has a ton of like outreach programs, and they have a ton of different ministries for everybody because there's so many people there, right? The divorce support group I used to go to was a bunch of kind of older people that were getting divorced, sometimes even older white women. I was the only black woman there. I noticed after a while, once people heard my story and I would show up to the group pretty often and, you know, support other people and I would speak, a lot of other women would say like, oh my gosh, Taylor, like, I want to introduce you to my son. I want to introduce you to my grandson. And I was like, interesting. Like, one time a woman told me like, oh my gosh, I would love to have a daughter-in-law like you. So don't underestimate the power of maybe people doing matchmaking, because some of these older people in the church, they're going to try to hook you up. When it comes to like dating and stuff, there's like a hierarchy here. To me, the top dating options come from an introduction or somebody within a peer group or even a hobby, which leads me into my next number. I don't know if this is 7, maybe this is 7. You have to have like a hobby. Like, for instance, everybody has dreams of grandeur, especially if you like me and you kind of grew up in the hood. Like I said, I didn't get middle class until I moved in with my aunt. But we all have interests that are a little bit more expensive. Like, for instance, remember I was saying I like exotic cars. I like to travel. You know, I like fashion. I like art. I took art history when I was younger. Sometimes even your hobbies, even if it's fitness, even if you like to run or whatever, you can meet some of these men doing these expensive hobbies. They are there. Like, I like to go to car meets, again, because I like to see the cars. I like to look and see what's under the hood. These men are at stuff like that because if they have the money, men like toys. They never grow out of that. Everybody has an inner child. If they liked playing with Hot Wheels and they liked NASCAR and stuff when they were a kid, when they get older and get money, they're buying Porsches. They're buying Maseratis. They never lose that love. So you'll find them at stuff like that too. I hope this helps somebody because, like I said, the older white men are not my type. But if that's your type, that's how you're going to get them.
Make up with me as I explain to you how I navigate the dating life and the top 1% of wealthy men, especially here in London, UK, as a colored girl. Now, as we all know, as a black girl, you're up against European features, and this is a lot of what these men are used to. So you have to do something that actually stands out for you, and usually that is with personality. As we know that the typical beauty standards here in the UK and worldwide are always light skin, blonde hair, blue eyes. But as a colored girl, you definitely have to stand out and be something different. And what does that entail? You have to be extra feminine. As a colored girl, you just have to. And also your personality, you have to have some form of personality, and you have to be sort of like a good person inside and out. I'm not saying to be a good girl, but kind of like a good heart. Now, that don't means for you to be getting walked all over upon or to not have any form of standard and respect to yourself. One thing these men love to do is to push your buttons as to see how much you respect yourself and how much standards you're willing to uphold, because they know women always talk the talk but never walk the walk. Now, something that I've never shared on here is that I have been engaged 9 times, actually 10 with my last engagement, and have literally turned down all 10 of them. Now, for me, character, morals, integrity is really important. Also with money, yes, I'm very materialistic, but these key components to an individual like really makes me, I don't know, fall in love with the person. So yes, money is great and all that, but how much am I or are you willing to put up with just because a man has money? Another thing is, these wealthy men, like, they love a woman that is very ambitious, but I'm not saying for you to be overly ambitious where you lose your feminine self and touch. They just like a girl that has something going for herself. They hate dependent women, pick-me-shell women, whether you believe it or not, they really hate it, or women that just very, very desperate. It really turns them off. So you really have to have something going for yourself. Now, I'm going to do a video as to how I get the men usually always spend on me. that's different. But usually men love to spend on women that practically where they feel like the woman really don't need them. Like she have everything going for herself, she have her own money, she makes her own money, she builds, you know, her own empire. Like it's like, what is it can he add to her life to make her better? You know what I mean? So you really have to have something going for yourself, because if you're waiting for a man to save you, honey, like you'll be attracting the wrong type and kind of men, believe you me. Now a lot of these men that I've dated have never dated or been with a black girl, much less marry in their life. So basically when they come across me, to some it was type of an experiment, and the many time I noticed that it was an experiment, I literally leave. And to some, since I have never dated a woman like me, they found out to be that I am extremely amazing and a wonderful person. So you have to keep that in mind here in the UK and England. So, you know, as I said earlier in the video, so you have to really keep that in mind. So you're going to have like a lot of cultural shock, the fact that you're, you know, a woman. So yeah, keep that in mind. Another thing I forget to add is that when they found out how amazing like girls are, they become extremely obsessed. I'm not kidding you, they become literally obsessed with me. And I had all of them said, I didn't know that black girls are that amazing and gorgeous. I'm like, well, we're the blueprint. Now another thing I want to add is that less is actually more, especially how you do your makeup and how you dress. I do not care what anyone say. I've been doing this for what, 3.5 years or 3 years, if you want to put it like that. That these men value women that literally wear like makeup that is very natural or skin like looking, and that are not cakey. And these are the men usually that always like spend on me and are typical providers. So less is always more, especially for makeup. They really like that natural effect, that makeup that enhances your beauty and causes what you will. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Wearing my natural lash and doing makeup like this has always get me much more than when I used to wear those falsies and extension. You don't believe me, sweetheart, go over my YouTube channel, Katie Lux, and you will see the type of men I used to attract. Huge difference to now. How you also dress is a clear indicator as to your background, family background, and also how you present yourself to the world, aka is like how you want the world or people to respect you. Now I came from a very middle class. In my country is very upper middle class to where it comes off as rich, but over here they will say middle class. Anyways, it was a cultural shock when I moved here. Yeah, so anyways, how you dress is very important. I could tell you, showing less skins get me way more than showing a lot of skin. Actually, cleavage, I don't show cleavage whatsoever. If I have to show anything, it's just like the V-neck, the V position on my neckline, which is just demonstrating a dainty jewelry, which is usually diamonds and pearls. Like, I don't really care what anyone say. Dressing classy will always be it and the T for me, because it's what has gotten me a lot in my life, and this is how my mom trained me anyways growing up. How you want to be respected and presented in the world, you dress and suit accordingly. So yeah, what I do know is that these men also respect women with boundaries and standards way more than they respect women that always says yes to everything. So putting yourself first will always be key, honey, for you. And they love a woman that literally stand her grounds and say no to something and wouldn't stand for something that she deemed disrespectful or out of the way for her, than someone that always saying yes and accepting every living single thing. Now, I don't know who tell you guys this nonsense, but these men also love a woman with opinion. No, they find that to be very sexy. They love women that are educated. No, I'm not saying like you have to be major, like super educated, but at least have some form of a degree, either a college degree or a bachelor's or master's degree. Education is important, so that you're able to hold a conversation. And they like for a fact that when a woman like has like their own opinion on things and not just saying yes to everything or just nodding everything to whoever or what that guy says. Now, I don't know about you guys, but these men love to have fun. These men love being with people that know how to have fun and not uptight. Now, I'm not saying for you to go over the board and where you just lose yourself, but it's like having fun as a woman in a classy way. They love joking around. They like telling joke. You know, they just basically normal people like you and I, but with a bit of money and with a bit of like social status and social class. So you have to know when and how. Like, reading the room is very important, and understanding time frame of things, knowing when and how for everything will basically get a lot out of you. From you, like, you will gain a lot more from this situation, and they will like literally like respect you more because you understand and know when and how for things. Like, there's a saying in my country, there's everything, there's a time and place for everything under the sun, basically like that. Last but not least, being you, being who you are, like within your core, is important. It gives us a sense of identity. Like, you show off yourself, you're very, very confident, and you love yourself for who you are, and you wouldn't change anything for the world, whether like to not really like to be somebody else, basically being somebody else that you're not, like being happy with who you are and you don't give a shit. It's like that.
Yeah, so basically, those people have, I think, exhausted everything. They have given a lot of tips and their experiences. I know if you are really interested in it and you were paying attention, you picked up something. I'll just add on a few things. Don't look at the color of a person or the race of a person as a personality trait, because just because he's white doesn't automatically justify that he's open-minded or he's kind or he will treat you better. Just like some of those people have said, you look at someone's personality and character and not just the color of the person. There are good men in all races and bad men in all races. So beyond that, ask yourself questions like, is he emotionally mature? Is he consistent? Does he respect me? Does he communicate well? Because a good man is a good man. And of course, race does not fix bad behavior. So make sure the white man that you're dating respects you. And of course, this is a huge one. You should never feel like you have to shrink yourself just to be loved. If you feel like you have to straighten your hair all the time, hide your culture, act less ethnic, or change how you talk, girl, that is not love. That is just performance. A healthy partner will let you be who you are. He will love your natural hair. He will enjoy your food and traditions. He will want so much to learn your culture. And of course, he will always hype you up and not tone you down. But of course, if he says things like, you are not like other black girls, I only date women of your race, and I don't see color, those are red flags. That is fetishizing or dismissing your reality. And of course, every woman wants respect and not exotic treatment. Then also talk about your race as early as possible. Some of the couples or some of the people mess up this so much. The world will always remind you that you are interracial. So it's better to talk about it as early as you can. Ask him things like, how do you handle racism? Would you defend me if someone disrespected me? How does your family feel about interracial dating? Then, have you ever dated outside your race before? Those are some of the questions that you need to ask this man as early as possible. If you ask him that and he gets uncomfortable, or if he says things like, why does everything have to be about race? That is emotional immaturity. A good partner listens, he cares, he learns, and he supports. Then also, watch his actions around other people. Because how he treats you alone is one thing, but how he treats you in public is everything. Pay close attention to his friends, his family, or his social settings. Does he proudly introduce you to other people, or does he act weird or distant when you are with him around other people? If someone makes a racist or disrespectful joke, does he speak up or he stays silent in the name of avoiding conflict? Then also communicate clearly, because sometimes cultural differences affect the communication style. Some people give hints, others expect mind reading, but many white Western men are very direct in their communication. So that means you also have to learn how to be direct when you're talking to this man. If something hurts you, say it, because clear communication saves relationships, while resentment destroys them. Then, of course, like someone there shared, don't lower your standards just because you're looking for a white man. This is where, of course, many women mess up sometimes, because they think that interracial dating is so hard and that they should just accept what they can get. No, you are the same person, and a man is a man. You deserve effort, loyalty, emotional safety, and consistency. Don't tolerate nonsense just because he is different. And of course, these men also want someone with standards, someone who knows their worth. Then, of course, keep your independence if you're dating this kind of man. Do not lose yourself just to keep someone. Stay connected to your friends, your hobbies, your culture, and your confidence. And of course, they like confident women. So this man should add onto your life and not replace it. And of course, if you are going into such kinds of relationships, just be prepared for public pressure or outside pressure. Because people will always stare, people will always comment, some might judge, and that is just the reality of things. Yeah, so what matters is just how two of you handle such things. At the end of the day, dating a white man isn't the goal. Dating a good man is the goal. So a good man is one who respects you, one who protects you, one who fights for you, one who listens to you, one who communicates with you clearly and consistently, and one who is proud of you and loves you loudly. So race is just a detail, but character is everything. And with that, I will end this video here. What are your thoughts, or what are some of the tips if you are in such a relationship, or if you have ever been in such a relationship? Drop there in the comments. If you found this interesting or helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, or if you're new here, and let's catch up in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.